had your time here at Hayfield.
Yes, sir.
It was time to move on.
Yes, sir.
You go off to Shepherd. First, take me through the process. What was the recruiting process like? How did you end up at Shepherd?
All right. The process in high school was different for me. I mean, I had the D1 schools. It's just like my grades was there. It's just my test score wasn't really up there. Like I kept trying to keep taking the test, and it just wasn't where I wanted it to be. Mm-hmm. So Coach Hendo just told me to stay patient because like everybody was committing. You know, Brian was committed to Maryland, and everybody was just getting their looks. But I was just like, dang, like when am I gonna get my look? So Coach Hendo actually took me out to Shepherd, and one of my coaches, Coach Dricky, had some people out there too that he knew. So I went to Shepherd, took my visit out there, and the coaches were talking to me. They liked my tape, and they just told me that they was gonna evaluate my tape, and then with everybody else's. So then time went by. Coach texted me and was like, I'm one of the top recruits, and that they gonna offer me. They just had to see where the money and stuff were. Yeah. So then I took another visit to UVA Wise, and then that was actually an official visit because they offered me right when I went there. Mm. And then after I left Wise, within hours later, Shepherd offered me. So then, but then we was just talking, and then Shepherd just like told me I can come in right away and compete for the spot. So I committed to Shepherd, and that's my home now for right. So that's where I went, Shepherd.
You didn't want to compete in your first year, did you?
I mean,
come on, man. Anybody that's ever seen him on a football field knows that he was going to go somewhere where he could try to compete for the job and stuff.
I mean, I knew it was going to be different in college because, you know, college, everybody's good. Everybody, they there for a reason. I mean, like high school there's people that are this and that, but like in college, everybody's good. And you'll be surprised because everybody want that D1 title. They want that, but you'll be surprised what you see at Division II. And like, Shepherd, we're D1. Like you'll see the talent. Like we're D1, and the thing is, and we just switched conferences. So our first game, we got a D1 school. We just don't know who we play at. It's either Towson, North Carolina A&T, or probably Morgan State. So one of them, that's gonna be our home opening game.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because a lot of people, you're right. A lot of people get hung up on D1 this, D1 that. Try to tell people, if you can go to school for free, it doesn't matter what number is behind the D.
It don't. And that's the thing, like, because, shoot, like, the D1 thing is, like, you go to D1, but, like, the thing is, are you willing to wait your turn? Like, some people wait 2 to 3 years just to see the field. Right. When you can go to a Division II school, a top Division II school, and play. Yeah. And be I mean, like, if you try and get to the NFL, it's cool to have that D1. But trust me, if you're a dog, they gonna find you. So like, it don't really matter where you go. And for me to be at Shepherd, I mean, Shepherd got the scouts. Like, they got the scouts. Shoot, when I was just a freshman, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers come through, the Broncos, the Raiders. All these scouts came through, and our corner, DeJuan Neal, he just left. He was a senior, so he's about to get ready to go for the combine. So. We didn't lose too many people on our defense, but our defense, we gonna be something serious coming up this season.
Well, you said something about Coach Henderson taking you up to Shepherd.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the area that they look at him and they think, he's a grumpy dude. He ain't gonna be. But when you talk to him, he's a totally different guy than people think.
Yeah, Coach Hendo, I came, I'm gonna take it back. I didn't play freshman year because I got kicked out of school, actually. Like, I got into like a whole incident in middle school that got me kicked out. So I was at a different school. So I came back my freshman year, third quarter of my freshman year. And they was just like, you know what you want to do? And I was just like, I just want to play football. So they took me upstairs to go meet Hendo. And here's this big old dude just sitting right there. And Hendo was just like, he's like, nice to meet you. I'm Coach Henderson. And we was just talking, we was chatting, and he was like, what position you play? And I was like, I think I'm a receiver, coach. He's like, receiver? He's like, nah, we'll see what you can do. So it was like a couple of weeks later, we had our first green day. And I was out there, and I was trying to get the receiver spot, but shoot, I wasn't even getting in. I was just like, damn, bro. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, I can't get on this joint. So when I got on, it was like bad. It was like, oh, dang. So Coach Hendo looked at me, I looked at him, and he was just like, come here. So I went over there. He's like, I think you're a man to be playing corner. I was like, corner? I was like, why corner? I'm a receiver, coach. So he actually put me at corner, and from there I was just locking up. Like, I was locking up. And then that's the first time I actually went against Brian in a while. So, and it was actually a good battle between me and Brian. He got me on some, I got him on some. And then from there, just from our sophomore to senior year, it was just me and Brian just always battling it out. And then towards my junior year, Coach Hendo made a switch to me going as a safety. So if wherever they needed me as a corner, I go to corner. If they need me as a safety, I go to safety. And a couple of times, Coach Hendo moved me down to play linebacker. So yeah, so I was always moving around.
Yeah. You were born to play corner. I don't care. You were born to play corner. Nobody talks that much. Yeah. You can play any position but corner.
Yeah, as a corner, you gotta talk. You gotta talk, because them receivers gonna talk, so you gotta talk too. So that's what we do.
Do you talk as much
in college?
Yes.
Nah.
All right, that's what I thought.
Nah, because in college, when receivers will make you humble yourself real quick. So you just gotta play the game as a humble way, and you just let your plan do the talking.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about you and Brian going back and forth from your sophomore year up to your senior year.
Yeah.
How much better of a player did it make you going up against him?
Shoot, it was pretty, like, because Brian, trying to tell you, his little stutter step move off the line is something serious.
Yeah.
And Brian's just always been my guy. Like, he always kept me up, even though sometimes I didn't think I could do it. And like, he always told, like, especially with the recruiting process, he always told me, like, just to stay patient. Because, like, I wasn't getting it the way I thought I should be getting it. So he always told me just to keep working, and then the time will come. And the time did come. And now we just playing college football, living that happy life.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you're keeping your grades up.
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to have no more trouble for your freshman year. Again.
Nah. Right. I'm great. I'm good.
All right, good. So, what did you learn this first year at Shepherd that's going to help you be a better player next year?
Shoot, I mean, as a freshman, because as a freshman, I came through. I was at camp, and before I came to camp, I lost my mom, so it was a difficult time for me. So it was hard for me to be at Shepherd and like miss home at the same time. I did have times where I was like, man, I'm about to leave. I don't think football is for me. But then, I always talk to God, like, to help me with the situation. So I went to camp, did my thing at camp, and then from there I was right there. Like, when first string was out, I went out with the first string. When second string was out, I went with the second string, and my name just kept getting called. I was like, yo, this college thing is actually, like, we gonna be rolling. So then got through camp, went home for a little bit, spent time with my family a little bit, and we came back for week one. And week one, I was up there, was rotating, playing, and then it just got to like week 3, week 4, and when like in high school, we didn't really do like playbooks, like defense. We just looked for the calls. But in college, you watching film, playbook, and Shepherd, we have a lot of plays. Like our defensive coach, Coach Klein, he has a lot of plays that you gonna have to know, and if you don't know it, sorry, you're at the back of the line.
Right.
So I didn't really know the checks and all that. So I went from rolling with the first string, second string, third string, and went down to fourth string, and I didn't see the field at all. Like, and then I was just like, dang, like, and then I'll go to practice and Coach Klein would be like, yeah, I ain't gonna cuss, but he was on me. Like, he's like, so you don't know where my office is at? I'm like, I do. He's like, so you want to do it the Kennedy way, huh? I was like, nah. He's like, all right, we'll see how far that gets you. So ever since then, like ever since we had that talk, I was always in his room talking to him. But that was like late into the season, and I didn't get to where I wanted to get. But he told me, we had our exit meeting, and he told me I have God-given talents, and I have the size, I have the weight, and it's up to me if I'm willing to put in the work. He said if I can come back this spring, he said I can be a beast, and he told me just to stay in my playbook and just following what he say, and we can go from there. So that's what I'm willing to work with. So Coach Klein, yeah.
And you're gonna take advantage of that, right?
Yes, sir.
a lot of people, when they saw you on the field, when you were here.
Yeah.
You did a lot of talking. You had a lot of fun, but you were always smiling when you're talking. That's the one thing I'll give you. You're always smiling when you're talking. And I had this conversation with Henderson one day. I said, look, I love that dude, but he's got to be trouble to coach sometimes. He didn't deny it. I'll put it that way. He didn't deny it.
Nah, I had my days at practice where I always thought I was right, but I wasn't. I was just, because going into my senior year, I was the only senior coming back as a returner. So it was a big part on my part to lead that defense. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, my senior year, I definitely missed out on a lot of games. I didn't play, like, the biggest game against South County, I didn't play because I got into a fight, actually, a week before that. So, so I didn't even know, like, so I came back on time, though. I came back on Thursday. Thinking I was about to play, right? So I walk up to Hendo, right? And Hendo looked at me, I looked at him. He's like, you know you're not playing, right? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're not playing. I was like, come on, coach. Like, it's the biggest game. Like, come on. He's like, yeah. He's like, as bad as I don't want to do it, but it's just, I have to. So I sat out that game, and he told me just to be a leader on the sideline and coach up the guys. And so that's what I did, but we ended up coming short that game, actually. And we was up the whole time, man. We came up short every time. My junior year, we had them. My senior year, we had them, and we just fell short.
It's like 50 to 53, something like that.
Yeah, so that's what happened against South County. And then I got ejected from the Annandale game for one of the biggest hits. They called it a targeting. And actually, the cameraman had a picture of it, and it wasn't actually a targeting, but he threw me out as a target. So
I need instant replay.
Yo, that I'm talking about. That hit was crucial. Like, it's still on my tape, but it was crucial. So I had to sit out for a couple of games. So I missed a lot my senior year. Still reminiscing about it, but
well, look,
yeah.
we talk about Henderson and how people look at him and think of him when they look at him. Yeah. People might look at you the same way though.
True.
When they saw you talking on the field, if they only saw you on playing football.
Yeah.
But then you come through these halls and you see Mr. Hawk running around, like always smiling, always got something going on, always in the middle of everything.
Yeah.
Then our guy John Becerra over here is at the state championship game last year, watching South County. He sends me the footage. All of a sudden, I look, and you're in the middle of the crowd for South County.
No, you feel me? South County, I got to do it for Lorton State. LO, man. We say LO because I'm from Lorton, and South County is right in LO, so I had to go out Richmond and support LO. Even though that's my rival school for football, but got to support them when it comes to our home, so that's why I went out to Richmond to support South County.
Did you ride the bus with them?
Nah. I actually drove out there.
You're up in the middle.
I drove out there. And the hype squad was looking, hey, you saw me though. And I still have my Hayfield Hawk sweater on. You know, I still rep my school, but I had to go support them at the same time. So, hey, I had the Hayfield sweater on, so it's not like I had South County. I still had Hayfield on.
It was so great because the first shot I see is like the camera panning,
and I'm right there clapping like this.
And then there's no doubt who it is right there. The first time I saw it, I cracked up.
I made sure everybody knew I was in there. So
I think we actually put it in the highlights.
Yeah, y'all did.
I think we put it in there.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about obviously lost your mom right before you went to school.
Yeah.
That's got to be tough going through.
It was because my mom was my best friend. So
you and I have talked about it before. I was in the same situation. I had the same thing happen. Now going back, you got to do this. Mm-hmm. You got to see it through. You got to follow through.
Yep.
How much did that help your motivation for school? You know what I'm saying?
It's just like within my family, like we just. When my mom grew up, like she went through tough times, but she just never gave up. So it's just like me, like if I give up, I just be looking like, what am I about to do? Like I can't go nowhere without a plan.
Right.
So it's just like, I'm not about to go run back home because my high school days are over. Because I was looking back like, man, I wish high school, but that high school stuff is over with. Mm-hmm. Like now you come in, you about to be like a man, you about to go into the real world. So it's just like, what if? like, what if I don't do this? What's gonna happen now? So it's just like, I always gotta, now it's just when I'm thinking, I just gotta think about my future. I can't think about now, because now it's just the present, but what you wanna do in the future. So it's just like every time when I wake up and when I need that motivation, I'm always thinking about my future, because my mom just always told me, like, this, whatever you have now is not always gonna be there, so you gotta work for it. And so that's always been my drive, and always talking to God about my situation. So it's just like I always motivate myself to just do better for my family and for those that are out there, because I didn't really have the support, my family support system. I always had the outsiders supporting me and bringing me in. So it's just like I do it for like my family and the people that are out there that don't have the support system, that I can motivate them and help them. Like, listen, like, this is what, if you really want to do it, just do it for yourself. And there's people out there that actually look up to you. I actually have kids that look up to me too, so it's just like, I do it basically for them and just tell them never to lose hope. So that's what I do.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
I got no problem saying this is one of my favorite people we've ever come in contact with, period. Like, I love this dude to death. And
the Rebel Run Sports, yeah, that's my show, man. Like, so y'all just came out of nowhere. I was like, yo, who are these people? Like, I was just in my room. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna get on this show. Like, cause y'all was always talking to Brian. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna be heard. So I seen you guys come. I was like, hey, that's Rebel Run. I was like, hey, Rebel Run is my favorite show. And then after we beat Mount Vernon, I saw you. I was just like, hey, 25 is lockdown, man. It's lockdown. So ever since then, Rebel Run is just my show. So
I legit still have that on my phone right now. That won't be erased off my phone, period. Anything we can do to support you, I'm gonna do.
Of course.
Look, you have something special because you affect people when you meet them.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see. You can see it. You can see it from far away, but you get it when you're up close.
Yes, sir.
Some people have that ability. You can inspire people. You can make people happy. I tell you, I smile every time I see you.
Yeah.
I talked to Josh King's mom about that. I said, look, I smile every time I see you, dude. I can't help it.
Yeah, Josh.
You affect people like that. Keep that and keep going.
Yes, sir. I definitely will.
Well, we wish you the best.
Appreciate
We're always going to be here. I told you, you need a show. So when you're ready to do the show, you come back and let us know.
I'm coming. I got you.
Quarterbacks out there, you throw it up, it's lockdown.
Exactly. Or you get set.
2-5. 2-5. And Rebel Run is my favorite show.
Hey, back to you again. 0 catches, baby. 0 catches. I don't care. I'm one of the best.
Rebel Run Sports! Rebel Run Sports! Rebel Run Sports!